Hello one and all. Today I am going to present about the topic of various biasing circuits of BJT. Let us see about this. First of all, we have to see about various biasing circuits. The following discussion treats 5 common biasing circuits used with class A bipolar transistor amplifiers. They are fixed bias, collector to base bias, fixed bias with emitter resistor, voltage divider bias, and then emitter bias. Let us see one by one. First of all, we have to see about fixed bias. Fixed bias is also known as base bias, or also otherwise it is called as a fixed resistance biasing. In this, single power source is used for both collector and base of a transistor. For this fixed bias circuit, VCC is defined by base current into base resistance plus base emitter junctions voltage. So we can give the IB as VCC minus VBE divided by RB. For a given transistor, voltage across base emitter junction does not vary significantly during use. As VCC is of fixed value, on selection of RB, the base current IB is fixed. Therefore, this type is called fixed bias type of circuit. Let us see about the advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of fixed bias circuit is it uses few components only for designing, and the operating point can be fixed anywhere in the active region. Disadvantages are operating point is unstable because of the collector current is indirectly proportional with respect to temperature and power supply. So when we increase the current, then the temperature and power supply should be minimum. Also, because of IC value is equal to beta into IB and IB is already fixed, IC is depends on beta, which changes unit to unit and shifts the operating point. The stabilization of operating point is very poor. If we want to know about the usage of fixed bias in real life, then we can see that there is a biasing used in linear circuits and in the circuits which are used as a switch. Let us move to the next one, which is collector to base bias. By defining this employs negative feedback to prevent thermal runaway and stabilize the operating point. In this, the resistor RB is connected to the collector instead of connecting it to the DC source VCC. Here, by using this diagram, we can substitute it by Kirchhoff's voltage law, which will define the value of VRB, which is equal to VCC minus collector current plus base current into collector resistance minus VBE. By using Ebers-Moll model, we can see that IC is equal to beta IB, which means beta is equal to IC by IB. So when we substitute these values in the above equation, which we solved by using the Kirchhoff's voltage law, then we will arrive at the new equation. And then we have to substitute by using Ohm's law in that arrived equation. Then we will reach the final one. Hence the base current IB will be equal to VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus beta plus 1 into RC. If we see about the advantages and disadvantages of collector bias means, the advantages are circuit stabilizes the operating point against variations in temperature, beta and variations in VCC. Here when we talk about disadvantages means, larger changes in beta will change the operating point. And then to keep IC as independent of beta, the condition IC is equal to beta should be satisfied. Then only we will get IB is equal to beta into VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus beta RC plus RC. And then if RC is large means we have to increase the VCC value. It is necessary. Because of that, this will increase the cost as well as precautions necessary. And then if RB is low, the reverse bias of the collector base region is small. This will limits the range of collector voltage swing that leaves the transistor in active mode. Then the last point is resistor RB causes an AC feedback, reducing the voltage gain of the amplifier. Let us move towards the next one, which is fixed bias with emitter resistor. In this type, fixed bias circuit is modified by attaching an external resistor to the emitter. So we can see that there is a resistor below the transistor, which is mentioned as RE. So this resistor introduces negative feedback that stabilizes the Q point. From Kirchhoff's voltage law, the voltage across the base resistor is VRB is equal to VCC minus IRE minus VBE. By using Ohm's law, substituting the value of VB, we will arrive at the equation as IB is equal to VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus beta plus 1 divided by RE. Let us move towards the advantages and disadvantages of fixed bias with emitter resistor. When we see about the advantages, the circuit has a tendency to stabilize operating point against changes in temperature and beta value. Disadvantages are, in the circuit, to keep IC as independent of beta, the condition IC is equal to beta IB should be satisfied. Then only we will get IB is equal to beta into VCC minus VBE divided by RB plus beta plus 1 plus RE. Here, if RE is of large value means, then the VCC value should be high. It is necessary. If we not doing this means, this will increase the cost as well as the precautions should be taken. It is necessary one. If RB is low, a separate low voltage supply be used in the base circuit. Using two supplies of different voltages is impractical. In addition to the above, RE causes AC feedback which reduces the voltage gain of the amplifier. Here when we see about the usage of this transistor means, due to the above disadvantages, this type of biasing circuits is used only with careful consideration of the trade-offs involved. Then let us move to the next one, which is voltage divider biasing. Here we can define this voltage divider bias as a formation of external resistors R1 and R2, which means it consists of two resistors. The voltage across R2 forward biases the emitter junction. By proper selection of resistors, the operating point of the transistor can be made independent of beta. Here VB, which is a voltage across resistance R2, is equal to VCC into R2 by R1 plus R2 minus IB into R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So for the given circuit, we reach the final equation as IB is equal to VCC by 1 plus R1 by R2 minus VBE by beta plus 1 RE plus R1 parallel R2. Here we can see this in voltage divider biasing, both are parallel, which means R1 is parallel to R2. If we see about advantages and disadvantages of this transistor, advantages are, unlike above circuits, here one DC supply is necessary. Operating point stabilized against shift in temperature. Operating point is almost independent of beta variation. When we talk about disadvantages, IC is equal to VCC by 1 plus R1 by R2 minus VBE whole divided by beta plus 1 RE plus R1 parallel to R2, which is a final condition of this transistor. This condition should be satisfied to keep IC as independent. If RE is of large value, VCC value should be high. It is necessary. Then only we can reduce the cost. Otherwise, it will increase the cost as well as the precautions should be increased. If R1 parallel to R2, which the value is low, either one of the resistance become low or otherwise both become low. Here this transistor is used as a circuit stability and merits as above make it widely used for linear circuits. Okay, let us move to the final transistor type, which is emitter bias. When we define this, when a split supply is available, split supply means dual supply. This biasing circuit is the most effective and provides zero bias voltage at the emitter or collector for load. The negative supply VW is used to forward bias the emitter junction through RE. The positive supply VCC is used to reverse bias the collector junction. Only 2 resistors are necessary for the common collector stage and 4 resistors for the common emitter of the common base stage. So by using this diagram, VB minus VE, which gives the base emitter voltage. Here if RB is small, then the base voltage will be approximately 0. Therefore emitter current is VW minus VBE divided by RE. The operating point is independent of beta if RE very much greater than RB whole divided by beta. When we see about this, disadvantages are, this type can only be used when a split power supply is available. Thank you.